Alright, unfortunately I have to make this video again. You didn't see the other one because I'm making it again and I deleted the other mistake. So anyway, this is your logon. I mean, we are literally logged on under the name Karma as your username. Okay, so I want to point a couple things out. These two applications, Google Chrome, can't get a good color on that. See if I need to change the color. That's a little bit better. Okay, so Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge are used to browse the internet. I'm sure you've done that on your cell phone. Microsoft Edge is the new name of the tool that used to be called Internet Explorer. Now, there's another tool that came with Microsoft called File Explorer, so don't get them confused. The whole purpose of this video, besides pointing out, is to show you how to get access to your files on your hard drive. Hard drive is storage that's inside your computer. It's inside this. It's somewhere between here, and somewhere in here. Okay, so you have hard drive and you have RAM. RAM is what allows the computer to run pretty smoothly on a moment, along with your CPU. So it's almost like RAM is how many things can you remember at one time, and your CPU is how fast can you think about it. Just to put it into an analogy, a hard drive is how many things can you carry around with you so you can carry books in your backpack. So the hard drive would be the equivalent of your backpack. But in order to get access to the contents of your backpack, you have to access the File Explorer application. There's actually an icon that Microsoft Windows was kind enough to put right here for you. You can click on it, and it looks like this. All right, I'm going to click the X button that I demonstrated before to close it. Another way to get to it is to click in this field here and start typing Explorer. And then you'll see File Explorer listed there. You can click over here, or you can click the icon right there. And it's precisely the same window. How about that? Okay. So now you have it open. You can see that you have this thing with your name on it, Donna-Personal. This is the Microsoft cloud of storage, and it's more specifically branded by Microsoft as OneDrive. Okay, they got Google Drive out there. It comes from Google. There's the iCloud that comes from Apple, but this is your OneDrive. It is just given the name of Donna Personal. It's got some folders under there, and then you got desktop down here. Notice you got desktop up here, documents down, and downloads down in here. Notice you got documents up here, but not downloads up here. Music the same, videos the same, pictures the same. What I'm going to suggest you do, because you have a terabyte of storage for free coming from my Microsoft 365 subscription, not my account, but my subscription that I'm extending to you so you can make use of these tools called Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, so you can write up documents in certain ways. Tracy's brilliant at using PowerPoint, and I am ridiculously skilled with Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. But let's get back to the point of this video, which is about storage and managing it. So you got this PC, you expand that, and you got a C. That's the C drive, okay? It says C:/OS. That's the only hard drive you have in here, right? It's not RAM, but it's 512 gigabytes large. So the way we find that out is you click on this PC, and then you can take a look up here, and it tells you, oh, actually it's 1 terabyte. I forgot about that. So 930 gigabytes, and there's some formatting that computers do, so you lose some of that 1.0 terabytes, which is 1,000 gigabytes in storage world. But you have 828 gigabytes free. And that's because the operating system's on there, and a couple other applications took up some more space. Can you believe that? 102 gigabytes sacrificed just by installing it on top of a formatted drive, and you lose 70 gigabytes just from having the OS installed on there to format the storage in such a way that you can get access to the storage on the drive. It's such silliness. All right, that's just a little thing, nerdy thing about storage. People are aware of this from like the last 30 years. But anyway, you have the C drive, then you have all these directories. These are not important to you. This one is critical. Don't ever delete it. Don't ever go into it, not unless I tell you to. This is where applications get installed. And this one has the profile directory for Karma, your account, and W French, my account. And if I need to, I can create an account for Phoenix, and it will create a folder here for you as well. Okay? So anyway, don't store files in here very much, but whatever you do, when you store files on your desktop, it would likely result in being stored in this guy over here. All right? But what I'm suggesting is if you download a file from the internet that you really need to keep, such as a PDF document or a Microsoft Word document you get from Phoenix Teacher, something like that, then you might want to store it under your Donna personal space, go into documents, and then maybe create a folder for your organization. Call it Phoenix Files or Phoenix, whatever, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and so on as he gets older. Or have another one for your name, and then maybe you go to college or something like that, right? It's not beyond the possibilities. You're a pretty smart woman, so you can do this. But the whole point is you create these layers of folders, a folder within a folder within a folder, or a folder within a folder, and use that as a means to store your data into basically the equivalent of a file cabinet, right? Where's the cabinet? Which file cabinet in the room? Which drawer? The top drawer, the bottom drawer? How far back in the file drawer? Which sheet of paper within that particular folder, within the file drawer on that particular part. So you have to start orienting your mind to think that way in terms of structure of how you're going to store your files. My suggestion, though, is that you try and save as much files that you need that's documentation in here. Create a folder for it, create a subfolder to use some logic to split it up. Do not save it under the C drive, because if the hard drive goes bad because you drop this laptop and it goes crunch, which is still a possibility but very unlikely in reality with these kind of modern technologies, you would lose those files. And if they were important to you, you would be crying because you lost those important files. If you put them up here, they're technically on the internet. All right? So be very cautious about what you put up on the internet. Maybe put that under here. But if they're important to you because they're Phoenixes, then you put them up here. Okay. Now, how do you create a folder? You take the mouse cursor, you right click. Remember, right click on the mouse. And then you can do new. And then you click folder and give it a name. How about Donna-files. And then now we have a folder for you. You don't have to keep that folder. I'm just demonstrating how you do this. And then you just store a file in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete this because you don't actually need it unless you want to create it for yourself. Right click on it and you can click delete. And then you click yes. It's gone. Don't delete things unless you know you don't want them to be around anymore. Microsoft Windows is a little bit more resilient. It'll let you recover them if you have the right skills and right tools. But if you do too many things and you delete a file and you decide to call me back 3 days later and ask me, how do I get that file back? We have to be concerned that you may have lost the file for good. So let's keep your folder creation pretty simple. Think about some logic and some structure, some planning, maybe finances separate from frivolous things like, Tracy sending pictures of her nails that you like and you want to do the same thing for yourself, stuff like that. I mean, it's sure that's important to you, but it's not critical like keeping track of finances or medical details and so on and so forth. Okay? All right, so that's going to be the end of this video.